usual, welcome back to the channel and to this little creative corner of the internet right here on YouTube. Hello, sleepy girl. Hello, yes. Thank you all so much, each and every single one of you, for your continued love and support. You've only just woken up, haven't you? Look how sleepy she looks. It's definitely getting decidedly colder here in the Scottish Highlands, my friends. And since we haven't done any pattern drafting for a wee while, I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone? So this week we're going to create something that is cosy and more autumn and winter friendly, and do some pattern drafting too. How does that sound, Lena? Yeah? As long as she's got a nap and a cuppa, she doesn't mind what we do. So, with that in mind, my friends, if you haven't done so already, please hit that all-important subscribe button, but grab yourself a cuppa and some pattern drafting supplies, like some paper and a pencil, and a ruler would come in handy too, my friends. Let's get to some creating. You've only just woken up. You're going to go back to sleep again. Good girl. My sleepy beagle. Capes are just one of those garments that feel so classy and timeless to me, my friends. And with my love of vintage style, I have amassed quite a few inspiration images over the years. Check these out. From the 1930s right through to the 1960s. I would quite happily have one of each of these gorgeous styles, but I'm finding myself really drawn to the button front capes with armholes, and I'm thinking that I might want a hood on this cape too. So it's time to get sketching. So now that I know what I want to create, my friends, and the design is done, it's time to get to that drafting. And there are a few possible ways to draft cape patterns, two of which we'll look at today. First up is using the circle skirt method to create the cape, with the circumference measurement used, which would usually be your waist measurement for a skirt, this time being the neck circumference, plus any button band measurements and seam allowances. This is such a wonderfully easy way to draft a cape. You only need two measurements, my friends: neck circumference and the desired length of your cape. If you want to create a cape with a button front centre front, add the width of your chosen buttons plus an inch to your neck circumference measurement before doing the next little bit of maths that we need to do. If though, my friends, you want a simple over the head cape without a centre front opening, then I suggest that you use your head crown measurement here rather than your neck circumference. because, my friends, we want to ensure that you can get your cape over your head. Very important. The circumference measurement is then used to calculate your required radius measurement, like so, by dividing it by 6.28. Your fabric is then folded like so. Once, twice, and it's this folded corner, my friends, that we need to concentrate on. Plotting the radius measurement out from this corner. Then plotting your chosen length measurement out from there to draw our pattern onto our fabric like so. And for a full video, my friends, where I use this exact method to create a cape, be sure to check out this video from last year. There's a card above. The second way that you can create a cape that we're going to look at today, my friends, is to use a bodice block. So to start, yes, you guessed it, begin by creating one of those wonderful blocks to your own measurements. Again, yes, there's a card above. These blocks are truly indispensable, my friends. With these, you have the sewing power to create anything you want. So, armed with that bodice block, let's get drafting. Grabbing some paper, I've got these little versions of my bodice block to use today to show you. How cute are these? We're going to start with the front. To begin, I'm taping the front bodice piece to the new pattern paper, making sure to allow space to the sides and bottom in particular. Firstly, come out from the lower edge of the arm side by 1 to 1.5 inches and make a mark. Then come up from the outer edge of the shoulder by 1 inch and make a second mark. Next, I'm going to plot my chosen length down the centre front, beginning by squaring across from the neckline edge before plotting that length measurement down from the nape of the neck like so. To create the side seam, I'm going to plot that same length measurement outwards from the inner shoulder seam edge through the 2 marks that we plotted earlier. Lastly, my friends, curve a line between the side and centre front seams to create the hemline, ensuring that the required length is maintained from neckline to hem consistently. As noted previously, my friends, if you want your cape to be one piece with no opening, widen that neckline to ensure that you can get it over your head. To create a front fastening cape, extend the centre front of the pattern to create a button band, extending it by the width of your chosen button, plus 1/2 inch for ease, plus another 1/2 inch for your seam allowance. And here is that finished front pattern. On to the back. start by grabbing some more paper. Take that back bodice piece and tape it to your paper. Grab that drafted front piece and use it to create the back piece, lining it up at the neckline edge and along the centre front and centre back seams like so. Then trace around the front pattern. As you can see, this creates quite a large amount of added fullness over and above the shoulder of the back bodice pattern. To remove some of this, come up from the outer shoulder edge by 1 inch and make a mark. Then curving a line from the inner neckline through this mark to the side seam traced on like so. Now I am freehanding this curve today because my dexterity was pretty good at this point, but you could also use that front pattern as a template once more to draw in the curve like this. Once more, check the length from neckline to hem so that it's nice and consistent. We do not want a wonky cape now, do we, my friends? And here is the finished pattern. Remember, there are no seam allowances on these patterns, my friends, so be sure to add them either to your pattern now or when you're cutting out your fabric. I'm going to also add one more mark to my pattern. Because I'm thinking of having armholes at the side seams, I'm using my underarm to elbow measurement, plotting it down from the approximate underarm placement on the new side seam and making a mark. When it comes to sewing the cape, I will stop sewing at this mark and leave a gap that is approximately half my bicep measurement to create the armholes. And how about that hood? Well, we already know how to do this, my friends, don't we? Because we've already conquered hoods here on the channel. So if you want to add a hood to your cape, be sure to check that out too. There's a card above, and as always, my friends, there are links in the description box. I'm so good to you. So my friends, now that the designing and sketching and drafting is all done, it's time to find some fabric. And currently this is my guest room, which is going to become my guest room and sewing and craft room. As you can see, the decorating is still in full swing, so everything has kind of been just sort of dumped in here. And you see one of my lovely rose plants. You might know, my friends, by now that roses are my absolute favourite plant, favourite flower ever, ever, ever. They mean a lot to me. But as you can see, it's pretty much carnage right now. Bit crazy. All my sewing stuff is kind of either dumped on the daybed or under the bed. So, fabric currently, it was in this room on top of a wardrobe which went the whole length of that far wall. We have got rid of that because actually it wasn't a great storage solution. So my fabric currently resides in my bedroom. Oh look, there's a Lady Luna. So this is our bedroom. It's got an absolutely giant Super King bed which literally takes up the entire bedroom, and of course lots of Luna toys. And the Lady Luna, who normally occupies this bed. And the reason we have such a giant bed is because, yes, Lady Luna takes up the majority of it. Good news though, my friends, because this bed is an ottoman storage bed. Gas powered, so even I can operate it. And actually, currently it's storing all my fabric. So I'm going to get the top of this bed opened up and I'll show you the current state of my fabric stash. I think I might have a problem and hopefully we'll be able to find some fabric. Wish me luck, my friends. Okay, so after Luna finished her lovely long beagle nap, I managed to get that ottoman open, and yes, here we go. And actually, that right there is the underskirt from my wedding dress, and actually my wedding dress is under here vacuum packed too. Excuse you! And as you can see, there is quite a lot of fabric under here. It's suddenly got really, really dark here in the Scottish Highlands. It's quite misty, so it's quite dark. So as you can see, quite a lot of fabric under here, but there's also quite a lot of yarn, and there's also 2 suitcases under here. So please, my friends out there who have sewing pattern stashes, fabric stashes, please tell me that this is not excessive. Please tell me that I do not have a problem and that this is acceptable. I'm really hoping this is acceptable. Unfortunately, actually, Luna, when I was doing this in quite a hurry, while I was collapsing the wardrobe in the 2B craft room, she actually attacked some of these bags. So a few of these here aren't actually vacuumed because they let air in now. So there will be more space under this bed eventually, but a lot of the yarn should be in bags, but they got attacked by beagles. So there's quite a few fabrics in here that I think would be really nice for that cape as well. And I'm thinking of going for a scuba because not only is it warm, but it's also water repellent. So that might be quite handy for an autumn in the Highlands. So hear Luna in the background chewing her toy. So with that in mind, my friends, wish me luck. I'm going in. So my wonderful friends, after getting that designing and drafting done, oh, hello Loon, and also hitting up that fabric stash, I think I found the perfect fabric to make my cape with. And I also found these gorgeous buttons as well for my button front design. Can you hear Luna having a cuppa? See if I can get some footage of that in a second for you. But as for that fabric, you'll have to wait until next week to see it, my friends, when we'll get sewing up those capes. Until then, you know the drill. Take care and stay safe. Bye, friends. Is that a nice cup of tea, Luna? Mmm, tasty. Yeah, they're tasty.